Welcome to On the Move, a business record effort that aims to help you hear directly from new leaders who are shaping Iowa's business community. I'm your host, Chris Conetzkey, president and group publisher of the Business Record. We've got a fantastic leader with us here today, Allison Pendroy, who recently began her tenure as president and CEO of WesleyLife after spending the past 3 years as COO. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you, Chris. Happy to be here.
Well, I'll let you share a little bit about the mission for those that don't know what WesleyLife does. Tell us what WesleyLife is up to.
Yeah. Well, WesleyLife just celebrated its 79th birthday last week. So we are 79 years strong of serving older adults in Iowa. We are a faith-based nonprofit with our origins here in Des Moines, Iowa. We have the ability to touch older adults and improve their health and well-being wherever they call home. We are a Christian-based nonprofit and deploy our services in a variety of settings. We have communities for healthy living, which are locations where people can come live together and enjoy a sense of community. We also provide food security through our Meals on Wheels platform in Central Iowa, which addresses a very, very important need for our community of older adults. And then we offer health and well-being services to individuals who may still want to remain independent in their own homes through a variety of care and health and well-being delivery methods.
Well, you've been with the company for a few years and in this space for a long time. Talk a little bit about how maybe you and WesleyLife are trying to shape the mission of the organization.
Yes, so I am so thrilled to have celebrated 3 years this month with the organization, starting as our Chief Operating Officer. That time has afforded me ability to really learn the organization, our culture, our team, what makes WesleyLife uniquely the right choice to serve older adults in Iowa. We are transforming, and part of our vision is to certainly revolutionize the experience of aging. We're serving increasingly lots of different customers. We have the silent generation that we still are very much serving today, but our baby boomers are arriving, and that's causing us to think differently about what do customers want. Their wants and needs are very different than the generations we've served before. So we're rethinking our business models. We're rethinking how team members can anticipate needs, ensuring that they're equipped and trained to deliver the mission. But there is a very big transformation happening right now in the field of older adults.
Tell me a little bit about maybe the differences between the boomers that are now arriving and perhaps the generation prior.
Yeah, I'd say the generation prior is incredibly thankful for the planning that they put into place over the years. They're the savers. I wouldn't say they're complacent and accepting, but they go with the flow a little bit more. What we're seeing with the baby boomers is they're more opinionated. They know what they want, and they expect it when they want to have it. They're very focused as well on health and well-being and different kinds of health and well-being, not just fitness, but what they're eating, continued purpose. Many of the baby boomers who have been retiring, I look at my own parents as well, they both unretired. And they went back to work to have that social connection as much of anything, that purpose, that continued drive. We also see in the baby boomers, they want to understand the value that they're getting out of, exchanging of, value for prices and goods and services. So we have to be very transparent about what things cost, what you get in exchange, and allow a certain degree of personalization too that we haven't seen with the previous generation to really, that customer's going to tell us what they want in what way. So that's causing us to rethink how we deliver the culinary experience, types of amenities and well-being choices that we offer on our campuses.
I wonder, you mentioned folks going back to work. I wonder if they have some stability with where they're at. Do you see folks that are in your communities that are choosing to go back to work in some fashion or contribute in a different way?
Yeah. We have many who live with us in our communities who are actively working full-time still, and we love to see that. Alternatively, we also have several who seek leadership positions on different committees or lead events and activities that give them purpose in our locations. We also have a lot of volunteers who are our customers and clients. We may have an individual living in one of our communities that volunteers at our hydroponic farm at Meals on Wheels, or perhaps drives a route for Meals on Wheels delivering hot delivered meals to clients.
Yeah. When you think about maybe some short-term goals, now that you're in the role, I know you just started, but what are you looking to do perhaps in the short term for the organization?
Yeah, while I've been with the organization for 3 years, there's always something new we all learn every day. So one of my first acts of service is conducting listening sessions. In fact, I've just completed 3, started last Friday, continued another today. And they're really listening sessions to get closer to the heartbeat of the customer. I've spent a lot of time in my 3 years with our leaders, but this is very purposeful to connect with our frontline team members. So we're having conversations through a series called Voices Connect, where we just talk for about an hour. We hear what brought them to WesleyLife, what keeps them with us, what are their hopes and dreams for the organization, how can we better support them. I'm also engaging with customers at the same time. Met with 2, actually 3 this morning, who shared their experiences of how they just love living with us, how WesleyLife has made them healthier, has made them younger, and it was one of the best decisions they ever made. So hearing directly from those we serve is a short-term goal. More midterm, we're continuing to focus on our workforce and how we can ensure we have enough workforce to care for the surging demand of services that's coming. There is a shortage of caregivers, particularly in the healthcare and nursing areas, not only impacting senior living and working with older adults, but more acute settings. So it's incumbent on a lot of us in Iowa to come together and ensure that we're offering career growth for those serving and caregiving.
Well, I know the population is aging just in general for the United States, but Iowa at a faster rate even perhaps than other communities.
That's true.
What does that dynamic, how does that affect here, this community, and how you're thinking about operating your organization?
Yeah, we need to be talking about it more as just businesses, employers, organizations in Iowa. You're right. Iowa is an aging state, and our aging is getting there faster than other states. We also, at the same time, have a workforce shortage as well. So that math doesn't add up fully in terms of the ratios that we need. So we need to start telling the story of possibilities of working with older adults to people earlier in their careers who may not even know what they want to do. We have partnerships we've struck with high schools locally, with community colleges. Sometimes young people don't know that this could be a career and a really fulfilling career. And what we hear from some of the younger people who do come and join us in workforce is like, we love our grandparents. Not only do we have our own grandparents, but working in a WesleyLife community, we now have hundreds of grandparents. And that's just really fulfilling for them.
That has to provide a bit of an opportunity for you all with the aging population and serving those folks. How are you thinking about growth in the future?
Yeah, Iowa is still ripe with plenty of opportunity. One of our biggest growth elements to the organization, however, we believe will be through our home and community-based services platform. Because again, there's a finite number of individuals we can serve within the walls of our communities for healthy living. But we offer home health, hospice, in-home palliative services, community nutrition, and the number we serve is really limitless. I mean, provided we continue to engage workforce to support our efforts, we can take those services to someone living in their own home and allow them to continue aging at home. The research shows, and we see this, over 90% of people don't ever want to leave their home. Now, sometimes situations, something might happen from a medical or a health perspective and they don't have a choice, but then it's too late to enjoy what life could be living in community. But however, for those who live at home, we can help you stay well at home. One thing we just launched, it was a couple of years ago, it's called Well at Wesley. And this is an effort to just ensure those who want to stay at home, stay there. We can modify your home for you. We'll bring you a sense of community and connection, social events. Again, can modify your home, choice of other healthy lifestyle options. And, that's their investment in staying where they are. And again, we're there to meet them. Should their needs change and they need longer term enhanced living and care at some point, they know they're going to go to a WesleyLife community, and they've made that decision.
What do you find maybe the biggest misconceptions are that people have as they start to explore your communities?
I think they perhaps think of what the community experience was for their grandparents years ago in more rural Iowa. I think there might be a misconception that it's that place that you go and people forget about you and it's at the end of a road and, the broader community doesn't come in. Something that makes WesleyLife even more distinct is we want to be that place where the community comes together. Broader community, Main Street comes to WesleyLife. In fact, our original location here at Wesley on Grand operates essentially an Airbnb and a pub. We have more people who use that amenity from the broader community than residents. And it's great because they come in and they see, wow, I never thought this could be that. We have communities who offer markets, community markets. And so that's wonderful. Like there's Edgewater out west offers a holiday mart. Hundreds of people come in from the broader community. And some are like, I didn't even know this was here. This is amazing. And again, when people see it, they share, like, oh, I think someone else could live here, or I might want to work here. So it just drives that word of mouth, and we have some good things going on.
What makes me think about for so many years you worked, you retired, right? That was the mindset of how it would, and now there's a lot of people rethinking what that final third of life is going to look like, especially when it's so much longer. How are you seeing people address that differently, perhaps within your communities?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different. There's wonderful opportunities for volunteering. We also have a lot of residents who mentor some of our team members, and what a great gift to pass along that impact of a life well lived, and certainly the wisdom that comes with age to improve the life of another generation. We're really big on intergenerational connections at WesleyLife. Our Meals on Wheels program, in fact, does quite a bit with the Drake students. We have one program in particular that allows Drake students to call in and check on older adults who might be isolated at home, clients of our WesleyLife Meals on Wheels, and just they have a phone conversation. It's a wellness check. But what that's doing is it's giving socialization to the older adult, but then for the younger person, it's teaching them phone skills and an ability to just connect and form a friendship with someone new.
That's great. When you think a little bit further vision-wise for WesleyLife, and I know you're still new in the role, but as you start thinking that way, how are you thinking about the vision for WesleyLife into the future?
Yeah. Well, we are currently embarking and executing and moving ahead on our Vision 2030. So 2030 was very purposeful. That is the last year the final baby boomer turned 65. So again, like we're preparing for the baby boomers, we're increasingly serving them today. So our 4 aspects of where we're going to go is number one, we are looking to increase health span. So we want to ensure that there is quality in the years, that there is life in those years, and their years spent in good health. So how can our services enhance and elongate health span for Iowans? Number two, we want to ensure that we are positively impacting ageism. You asked a question before about how is what you're doing different? What kind of myths are there to dispel about aging? And there's plenty. And so through very effective use of storytelling, we're negating those myths. Again, we're bringing intergenerational connections together so people can see there's more in common than different, despite differences in age. Next, we also are wanting to ensure we have a thriving workplace, so we're preparing for that workplace of tomorrow. And then we want to ensure we're addressing gaps in services. So we're very innovative at WesleyLife. I'm confident there'll be new solutions we'll be developing to reach more people in the near future.
I'm sure you're busy taking on the new role, but you're involved in the community. What's something maybe you're involved in the community and passionate about?
Yeah, I do enjoy music. It's just kind of a way to recalibrate, refresh. So I play piano and I sing. So I do volunteer time at church on the worship team. Also through church, I mentor an immigrant to this country. She's a single mom, and she runs a mission in her home country of Liberia, and just help her impact lives in another part of the world. And it's very meaningful work.
Is there a challenge maybe from a community perspective that you're interested in leaning your skills towards?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm just very proud to be the first female CEO at WesleyLife after 80 years. And so what that means is I do think there's opportunity to mentor younger women entering the workforce or at earlier stages in their careers. So with time, I think I have opportunity certainly to get more involved in impacting the lives of younger females who are, developing and learning where they want to go and developing their leadership skills.
What might you want the business community to know about how you operate?
Yeah, how I operate. I think I'm influenced again by my small town roots in that I'm approachable, and I want people to be able to come to me with transparency. Tell me the good, tell me the bad. We'll work through it together. I've been told that and I know I am. I'm half glass full always. It doesn't cause me to look past, things that certainly need attention, but look for the positive in life. You can kind of find the silver lining, certainly in problems too, and put your heads together. Two heads are better than one, and I find with many voices at the table, you'll have a better outcome.
From a leadership perspective, how do you try to lead?
I lead with humility and, again, approachability. I find, like ideally people see, nothing's above or below me, that, I'm there, and that there is inspiration to follow. That I've worn a lot of hats. I've learned a lot. I ask a lot of questions too. So I think there's curiosity that I bring to the table and encourage others. Just ask if you don't understand. Seek the context.
If businesses are looking to work with WesleyLife, are there some organizations or ways that they could perhaps work with you?
Oh, we welcome partnerships. I mean, we are very proud, again, as a nonprofit, to be a community partner. There are many we work with from a workforce perspective, many that we work with from a wellness and healthcare referral perspective, and just some other unique combinations that certainly can come together to impact the lives of older adults. So approach us.
All right, rapid fire here, just to get to know a little more about you. What's you mentioned piano, but what's maybe something we'd find you do in your free time?
Yeah, I like to garden. I do enjoy gardening and just experimenting with growing new things. And I also still like to get back to my roots in the country. So we enjoy time just kind of slowing down and outside of Des Moines. I rejuvenate and kind of get refreshed with the outdoors, and whether those are long walks or just spending time with my family close to where we grew up, just quiet time.
When you listen to music, what maybe would you be listening to?
Yeah, I like to listen to contemporary Christian music, and so that's typically what's on my playlist. But on occasion, it's nice to be surprised with the latest new music and, kind of get exposed to some new things.
Now, favorite piano piece that you play?
It's been a while. I tend to like just kind of some of the traditional Christian hymns.
Gotcha. Yeah. Biggest pet peeve in business?
Biggest pet peeve in business. Okay, we've been going fast. This slows this one down. I think it's probably, if individuals don't take the time to really ask and understand, again, you don't have to know it all. There are people who are going to have lived other experiences, who have talents to add. So invite those other voices to the table, because set your ego aside. They're going to help make it better.
Favorite movie or TV show?
I enjoy all of the subscriptions. Lately, we've been watching Dutton Ranch, which is really good. So I'm so glad that I think it's renewing. So the Taylor Sheridan shows I like to watch with my husband.
Sounds good. Favorite bite of food in Des Moines?
Oh, I always like to try different things. Let's see. Well, have been enjoying the Lynn Pritchard restaurant at Hugo's, which is located at our WesleyLife Meals on Wheels. They have really great wood oven baked pizza.
Remind me, do you guys actually provide some of the food for the restaurant, or not so much?
We do send a lot of our volunteers there after volunteering for our hydroponic shifts, but we have basil that has been used. Mm-hmm.
Great. What maybe do you look most forward to as you age in your career?
As I age in my career, I look forward to looking back with impact of just other lives that have been made better, whether those are customers or team members that I've been able to mentor and grow. Someday, when I pass the baton, I just want to have confidence that that's someone I've helped develop, and who can assume, leadership, and the legacy continues.
Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we go?
I think Iowa is a great place. I'm so incredibly blessed to consider myself a lifelong Iowan. I've met people from all over the country who maybe have never been to Iowa or Des Moines, and I'm like, you're missing out. But sometimes I think we can keep it a well-kept secret. So just very proud of the people we have here. We're one of the friendliest states. We're doing good things. We have a great economy. It's a lot to be proud of.
Well, thanks again for joining us for On the Move. And I'm so grateful that we have so many fantastic leaders in this community, and have had the chance to get to know Allison better today, and I know you did too. We know one of the secrets to this community's success is the way that we connect on a personal level with each other, so do me a favor. As Allison is on the move, find a way to lend her an extra hand as she works to help our future generations that are aging here in this community. Thank you again for watching. Again, I'm Chris Conetzkey, President at the Business Record, and I'll see you next time for On the Move.